Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we have the absolutely fantastic BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge coming at you live from Sonoma. This is round 4 of season 7, and for those of you that have been watching from the start, you would have seen our fantastic new promo video for the Simability V8 Supercars, which starts with Media Day this weekend. Anyway, back to this series. In the booth with me tonight, back from his I was going to say rest, but he was just skiving and eating, no doubt. It's Yaz, not Yaz. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to be back.
Also with us, as usual, doing the cameras, the bells, the whistles, and all the mistakes that you see on your screen, it's Mr. Sam Boozin. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Yaz, everybody.
Okay, so we are back. We are we're a quarter of the way through the season, and Yaz, I know you was missing last week, but it's been a bit of a one-car show in both classes so far, with Wobbly Kneecaps taking away 3 wins in GT4 and Spencer McCarthy taking away 3 wins in TCR. However, we have Mr. Wobbly Kneecaps in the venerable Audi TCR tonight. So, living up to his name, he's swapping his cars more than he swaps his underpants. How do you think that's going to shake things up, Yaz?
Well, yeah, 3 races in, and he does the wobbly and switches over classes. I think it's probably expected that if anybody was going to do that, it would be wobbly. But yeah, like you say, a 1-horse race at the front in both classes thus far. TCR Spencer McCarthy. I have to say it's a bit of a surprise that he's put 3 wins in a row. Not because he's slow, but because Stephen Walker hasn't got a win this season, not yet at least. Gary Craig, Sam Blees, and the usual suspects are close behind. But yeah, so the surprise there is that it's only been a 1-horse race thus far at the front in the TCR. As far as the GT4 goes, I guess we're going to have a new winner tonight. Who that's going to be, not quite sure just yet.
Yeah, that's very true, and I've got to agree with you with the TCRs. It's not surprising that Spencer McCarthy has won 3 races because we know he's quick, but it is surprising in the fact that there's a lot of strength in depth in that TCR field. So I am surprised that nobody has managed to best him yet. So last time out at Red Bull Ring, Wobbly Kneecaps took away the win in GT4 with Jamie Wilson in 2nd and Stefan Goebel in 3rd. Spencer McCarthy took away the win in TCR with Sam Blees 2nd and Simon Walker. Just give him a new name. I've done a bill. Stephen Walker in 3rd. Now, our standings, because Wobbly has basically changed categories, that wipes him out of the standings in GT4. So he won't be back at the top of that until he switches back. So Chris Needham now currently leads the way in GT4 with Jason Haddington in 2nd and Martin Versluwen in 3rd. In TCR, obviously Spencer McCarthy leads the way. Gary Craig is in 2nd and Sam Blees in 3rd, hot on his heels. In the team standings, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing lead the way with Spectre 6 Purple 2nd and RWC Racing Black in 3rd. Driver of the meeting is currently led by Chris Needham with a plethora of drivers on 1 vote. And in the head-to-head, we currently have in TCR Group 1, Matt Elmore, Martin Brennan leading the way. Group 2, Spencer McCarthy and Gary Craig. Group 3, Sam Blees and Stephen Walker. Group for Shane Powell and Roger Morton. In GT4 Group 1, we have Wobbly Kneecaps, who won't score any points in this tonight, and Chris Needham. And in Group 2, Martin Versluwen and Tyler Newitt. So that's us up to date with the standing. Yaz, what's going to happen tonight? An interesting track. With lots of undulation. We've got the typical American S's. There's a lot going on this track.
Yeah, this is this is one of those tracks that's not easy. It's a bit of a roller coaster, up and down, left and right. Lots of undulation, as you say, and then, like you said, also the S's that come in there. A couple of hairpins. Everything you're looking for in the track here. So the guys are going to need to be on it. It's one of those tracks that allows for overtaking in a couple of places. So I have a feeling we're going to see some action. But I think the main aim of the game here for anybody who wants to finish well is just to make sure that they finish without any incidents, because this track can punish you very badly if you put your foot wrong here. You can go into a hole very quickly, especially we're looking at the section on camera at the moment. From the start finish straight to about turn 6 or 7. That is just unforgiving for any mistake that you make. It's tonight the guys are going to need to have full focus on what they have for the next hour.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about this track for me is most of the American tracks that we go to, and indeed probably most tracks in the world, have got some sort of long straight. Now Sonoma hasn't. You've got the sort of twisty section leading up to a short straight into the final hairpin, but that's really about it for straight areas on the track. So like you say, it is a track that you can overtake on. It is also a track that will bite you if you try and take liberties. So that is going to be very interesting. We are currently almost 9 minutes into the 15-minute qualifying session. Tyler Newitt leads the way in GT4, Chris Needham second, Martin Versluwen in third. In TCR, Stephen Walker currently leads the way with Spencer McCarthy in second and Gary Craig in third, but I'm sure that is going to change quite a bit before we get to the end of this qualifying session. So Yaz, where do you think our winners are coming from tonight? I always ask you guys what you think's going to happen. Normally I would say GT4 Tyler Newitt, but I don't know. Chris Needham has been driving so well this season and not making mistakes. So I'm really looking forward to Chris getting up there. Martin, we know he's a quick driver, but he's still getting to grips with the car. Jamie Wilson, personally, I think he's better in TCR than he is GT4, but he's still a quick driver, as is Stefan Goebel. And then there's Jason Haddington, who has just signed up for the V8 League, incidentally, so his car control is going to get a lot better. And in TCR, it's basically throw a pin at the leaderboard. I have a feeling Stephen Walker might get a win tonight. We just know that Pete Bingham's going to be fighting for P nowhere, so that's the only thing I can call on TCR.
I think in the GT4s, I think Tyler's back this week, and he's had a couple of incidents in the race before, which has kept him from finishing higher than what he is. So I have a feeling if he can keep it on track, I think he's probably going to take it this week with Weber not in the race. He shouldn't have too much trouble. Chris Needham, like you say, is just being consistent. We have to be fair. He hasn't been up there with the pace of what we used to the fast guys doing, but he's been clean. He's been consistent. He's done what he needs to do to be up there. And like you say, now that Weber's changed cars, he's leading the pack because of the consistency. Stefan Goebel has had pace. So yeah, we can come from anywhere in the GT4 field. The TCRs, exactly like you said. I mean, those top 5 guys. Stephen Walker, Spencer McCarthy, Gary Craig, Sam Blees, even Michael Gray. Michael Gray has been unlucky in some of the races, but his pace is definitely up there. And now Weber throwing his name in the hat as well. So I don't know which way it's going to go this week. If I had to put my head on the block, I'll go for Tyler Newitt, and I'd like to see Stephen Walker come away with a win in the TCRs.
Okay, so basically you sat on the fence and copied what I said. Let's have some hellos on the chat. So Marco Lewert says, hello, anybody here? So let's all pretend we're not here for Marco. We've also got a new viewer by the looks of it. Daryl Denny, evening all. Let's hope for a quality race. My housemate Carl Hardy for the win. So maybe we need to dig a little bit more into that bromance that is obviously going on there. Sam has put on there about the V8 ESC League, which we mentioned earlier on. That is shaping up to be absolutely fantastic. We've got a near 30 car grid at the moment. Evening to Mark Draper, someone who we haven't seen in the league for a while. And Alan Toon says it's a regular track in the MX5 leagues, should be crunchy in these larger, faster cars. Marco Lewert says Happy New Year, but we're not going to answer him because we're pretending we're not here. So 90 seconds left in this qualifying session. Tyler Newitt still on provisional pole in GT4s. Stefan Goebel has got himself up into second, which has relegated Chris Needham to third. In TCR, Stephen Walker still leads the way. Spencer McCarthy second. Wobbly Kneecaps has popped himself into third. So there's still some changing going on there. Although in GT4, it looks like everybody's in the pits apart from Tyler. But the TCRs are still at it. So for all of our new viewers, it is a 60-minute race. The cars are fuel limited. They will have to make a minimum of 1 pit stop. Obviously, the GT4s are faster than the TCRs. Quickest lap in a GT4 at the moment is a 1:35.2. TCR is a 1:38.1. So there will be traffic for the GT4s to get through and the TCRs to be aware of. We do try and call the race as it goes along. However, everything can change at any moment in time. Marco Lewert is now still trying to teach me a German surname that has a crate of cider on it at work. So I will be in touch with Marco to try and get it correct. Checkers are out, Yaz. Can you see any changes? Or actually, I've just seen Sam Blees go up to third in TCR. Do you think we've seen the changes now in TCR, or is it all going to be all change on this final lap?
Who's still out there? Martin Versluwen is out there. And then the top 3 in TCRs is still out there. So nobody's setting the timing screens alight. Tyler Newitt's going. It looks like he's setting a couple of purple sectors, but he's already on pole. So I don't know if that's going to make any difference. But who's that crossing the line there? Sam Blees not changing anything. Stephen Walker not changing anything. And Spencer McCarthy is the last we're waiting for. Nope, he's in. So no changes there in the TCRs either.
Way. Yeah, that's more like Tyler's driving. That was actually Tyler in the trucks on Sunday night. which incidentally, if anybody's interested, I beat both of my teammates.
Who were your teammates?
Adam Wright and Tyler Newitt.
It's not bad.
Okay, so we will wait for the session to run down, and then we will be able to bring you your official starting grid. I'm actually quite looking forward to this one, Yaz, if I'm honest.
We're still waiting.
Always a bit of action on this track.
Yeah, this was the first track. If my memory serves me, this is the first track I did commentary with you guys because I was too scared to actually race on this track. I just couldn't get it right at the time, and I just said, "Oh, screw it," and joined the guys in the booth, and now I'm still sitting in the booth.
Yeah, and there you shall stay. So, if you want to run through our GT4 starting lineup, and then I'll try and crash us through the TCRs.
Sure, we've got Tyler Newitt for BSTV Esport Orange leading the way, Stefan Goebel in second for VTS Esport, Chris Needham in third, RWC Racing Black, Martin Versluw and Dutchess Esport in fourth, Jamie Wilson in fifth for Team Chimera, and then Jason Haddington, RWC Racing Black in sixth place.
Okay, your pole sitter in TCR is Stephen Lucky Walker for Spectre 6 Purple. Second, Spencer McCarthy for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. Third is Sam Blees, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. Fourth, Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. Fifth is Gary Craig, BSTV Esports Green. Sixth is Michael Gray. Seventh is Shane Powell. 8th is Matt Elmore, 9th is Carl Hardy, 10th is Pete Bingham, 11th Russell Cowell, 12th is Rob Venn, 13th is Arnaud Chanonnier, 14th is Roger Morton, 15th is Martin Brennan, David Ayres goes off 16th with JB Dejoux in 17th, 18th is Ant Woodward, 19th is Charles Kellyman, 20th is Duncan Cope, 21st is Ollie Ricks, and last but not least, 22nd is Andy Littler. I'm knackered now.
That was a long list of TCRs. 22 in the field this week. And it just seems to be growing. Looking at that picture there, we can see there's a lot of wasps waiting to get going there now. But yeah, it's a full formation lap here, so gives us some time to watch them all go around and catch our breath. I think they'll probably leave a bit of a gap. They really do have their own battles to fight there in the TCR, so I don't think they want to get mixed up anywhere close to the GT4, so I have a feeling they're going to leave quite a gap there between the two.
Yeah, and Stephen Walker is obviously, as we look at our curb cam, Stephen Walker is very used to going off from pole position, so he will make sure there's plenty of gap just in case anything happens with those GT4s out the front. They don't really want to be involved in that battle on the first lap.
Yeah. The one thing they're going to need to look out for, in the TCRs there is that it's going to go green before they get to the hairpin, or while they're in the middle of that hairpin there. So they're just going to have to be a little bit patient. Well, not to be too excited to get around that hairpin too quickly. Otherwise, you could see carnage there before the race even starts.
Yeah, they are leaving a very healthy gap.
This TCRs have become a very popular car this season with the addition of the new Honda and Hyundai to the class. It's just become one of the really popular series on iRacing, and that's probably why we also see this big uptick in entries as well.
Yeah, and long may it continue because they are providing us with some fantastic racing, as do the GT4s. Even though there's not many in the class, we do always have some good racing. Right, so pace car has peeled.
Yeah, and they're going to go
I
around
would
this.
suspect Tyler's going to boot it as soon as he can. Oh, no, he's holding him. Now he's gone.
No.
So GT4's underway. Good jump by Tyler Newitt.
TCR's going through the hairpin. It looks like everybody's getting through safely there.
Here they come. Oh, that was, I think, Arnaud Chenonnier and possibly Rob Ben.
JB,
that's JB.
And
no, that's Woodward.
And Woodward. And Woodward doing his best impression of Pete Bingham there in the first corner. In the GT4s look to be going away cleanly. Jamie Wilson making his way through Martin Versluwen there. The rest of the TCR field look like they are going well. Just a couple of incidents there on the first corner. I guess with a field this size, you can expect some turn 1 and turn 2 action. When I say action, I mean some argy-bargy and enough housing as we saw there.
Yeah, I'm interested in Martin Versluwen. Unless my leaderboard was playing up, I'm sure I see him get ahead of Chris Needham into third, and then he's lost out Chris and Jamie. So
what's happened to Matt Almore? Just went straight into the wall there. What's happened to him?
We'd have to see that again. That could be a hardware issue.
It's a couple of replays we'll need to have a look at there now. From the beginning of the race. Oh, he's got a bit of a knock there.
And then another one. Yeah, I think he was on the slide, and whoever that was behind him there finished him off. Martin Versluwen has disconnected, so something has definitely happened. So, this was the first one that we saw, I believe. No, we're back live. Right. Watch the pink car.
Oh. Two getting a bit too close together. Who's the pink car? The pink car is...
I think that is that Rob Ben? And I didn't quite see what happened to JB there. Didn't quite see.
Okay, it looks like we're back live here on lap. We're in lap 2 now. Looking at Russell Cowell in 9th place. Pete Bingham behind him in 10th. That's the top half of the TCR field. So that's, another one's out.
Another one. Jason Haddington.
Oh, he's going to have to wait for the full TCR field to pass now.
Which is a long line tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, what happened to Martin?
That's a lot of cars to have to get through again. Oh, he's just done it on his own.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I'm sure Jason won't mind me saying it, that is a regular occurrence.
So for some of this reason, I don't know why SDK keep stopping the video, and I got the replay stuck. So that's why I'm playing with live and replay clients. Sorry.
I don't know if it. Are you live? Can everybody hear you, Sam?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah.
That's what happened to Martin, by the way.
Yeah, I still didn't see that, but never mind. Yeah, he definitely disappeared. So, back to live.
Yeah, Martin just looked like he lost it in going up the hill there, and just continued on into the wall, and then called it a night.
Dan Belize down to 12th. No, sorry, down to 8th in TCR. He's had an off track somewhere.
So we've got 4 GT4s left in the field. Well, 5, but Jason Haddington is running around in the middle of the TCRs.
Yeah, Jason won't give up though. Let's see what happened to Soho.
Let's go drifting.
That was actually a fantastic save. That could have been a whole lot worse.
Assembly is doing his best impression of Tokyo Drift around the outside there. But he's kept it on track, and he can still battle on. He's down to 8th place. I'm sure he'll make a few good moves, and we'll get back up there.
I'm sure he will. Jason Haddington obviously down towards the end of the TCR field, but we know he won't give up.
Yeah, these 4 GT4s now up front, still quite close together, which is nice to see. They still got a race on their hands here, even though it's just the 4 of them at this stage. You can't separate them. There's less than 2 seconds between the 4 of them, 1.5 seconds between the 4 of them. So let's hope this continues for the better part of this race.
Yeah, I would hazard a guess that Tyler is fuel saving. So Stefan, you're probably better off just punting him, mate. Put him out of his misery.
I think we saw Stefan Goebel take his first win the last race of last season, if memory serves me. So I'm sure he'll be quite excited to get back up there again.
And a long overdue win that was.
That was the end of 6 seasons. He finally got that win. He's over the past few seasons, and the first few seasons, we saw him with pace, but just not being able to put a full race together to take it to the line in first place. He did get quite a few podiums on his way there, and it was just nice to see him get that win finally in the end.
So that is Ollie Ricks, Arnaud Chenonnier and Duncan Cope.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be pushing each other around here for the better part of this. Arnaud's all over the back of Duncan, and Ollie Ricks is not leaving them alone either. So, we speak about this every week, and this is for, what's this, 13th place, 13th, 14th and 15th. Not everybody can be at the front, but these guys all look, they're looking for their battles, they're looking for the fun part for themselves, this is what it's all about. It's if they can have some fun and do things like this and fight each other for good parts of this race, they'll enjoy this.
Yeah, JB Dejoux has had a crash somewhere. You see him come up as jumped to the pits. It's already happened. Something's already happened there, hasn't it? Because that wheel isn't working properly. In fact, it's pointing in the wrong direction.
Back lag now with the GT4s. Still tightly packed together. Tyler's pulling a little bit of a gap, but like you say, who's this? Chris Needham making a move on Stefan
It was,
Goebel.
Yeah. Aggressive but fair. Stefan saw him coming, made sure he had the room.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of fuel saving going on here, at least from Tyler's point. I think Chris Needham might be pushing as hard as he can, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out when it gets to the halfway mark of this race and the pit stops come into play.
Gary Craig has managed to work his way up to third in TCR. I think he started in quite a lowly position for him of fifth, I believe. Stephen Walker not getting away from Spencer McCarthy, but they've got a healthy lead back to Gary Craig in third. See the lead there, actually. The Gary Craig John Deere train. Other tractors are available.
Stephen Goebel leaving a bit of a gap between himself and Chris Needham there. I'm sure you'll want to be closing that up. You know, like you did say that there's not much of the track doesn't have a straight, you know, but after the hairpin going down the past the pit lane.
Oh, for the lead, yes, sorry.
Oh, was that Spencer McCarthy making a move on Stephen Walker?
Yeah.
We've seen quite a few moves in that same corner over the last few laps. Now that looks to be the best place to make a move.
Yeah, and the chicane as well that they'll be coming up to shortly. So that's Stephen Goebel dropping back into fourth in GT4. That's a horrible corner, that is. I usually end up in the crowd there.
That's the one that kept me from joining this race.
So Yaz was actually scared of the track in the virtual world, where it doesn't hurt when you crash.
Yeah. It wasn't a case of being scared. I just couldn't get through this first couple of corners without going off. Try as I might, it just didn't work. I must say I have overcome that and driven a few races here now, and being able to get through that section safely is it's quite satisfying actually, to be able to do a few laps here without going off.
Yeah, something has happened with Jason Haddington and Charles Kellyman. Just heard a lot of apologies. Oh, 13 minutes in, that's gone quick.
Yeah, and that's already 9 laps into this race after 13 minutes. So what are we looking at, about 40 laps in this race?
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere around there, isn't it? Mark Draper on the chat is saying Spencer is pushing, trying to break Stephen, and he's using the whole track and some. You know, certainly can't disagree, but he's not easy to get rid of, is he, that pesky Lucky Walker bloke? I think Sam has definitely broken the replays tonight.
Man, that fucking shit of his DK just a nightmare today. I can't even show the thing live now. Fuck.
some weird and wonderful things going on my screen at the moment.
We fucking pay for SDK to have something to control the cameras and things, and I have to go to iRacing to control it because SDK is not working anymore.
Yeah, obviously they've broken something in their update.
Yeah, it's a common thing to do from them. Yeah.
We've still got Gary Craig, wobbly kneecaps. Who else is that in there? Sam Blease and Michael Gray battling it out for P3 in TCR.
Yeah, we haven't seen we haven't looked at what Wobbly's been doing, but he's playing around there with the top guys in the TCRs. You know, we've come to expect that from him, jumping from car to car, so being quick. And he hasn't punted anybody out, and nobody's taken him out yet. So I guess that's a good sign.
Oh, there's plenty of time for that to happen.
So yeah, obviously they really break something because I loaded a project. I'm sure that works because as they change a bit of the design for this race, you never know. Might have been me, but it's
no, I think it's something in their update, isn't it? Anyway, let's get back to the racing. Apologies for our amateur cameraman. So these, although we've only got 4 of these GT4s running now, because after me saying that Jason Haddington wouldn't quit, he did. They're not leaving each other alone, are they? And they are getting into the back end of the TCR field now.
Yeah, this is where it's going to get interesting now. You know, there's a few places you can make passes here, and there's a few. Okay, at least the TCRs are moving out of the way there, and not getting too involved. So that's some.
Yeah, well done to Andy Littler there for very sensible driving. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, this GT4 battle is going to go on at least till the pit stops. And yeah, there's still nothing between them, so hopefully the TCRs won't cause too much trouble there. Yeah, there's quite a gap before they reach the next TCR. Is Charles Kellyman, is it? Yeah, he's way up the road as they come over the start-finish straight now.
Just looking at the gaps in TCR at the moment, Spencer McCarthy can't get any more than a second in front of Stephen Walker. They're still dropping that battle pack racing for 3rd. So those 2 up front have really got some lightning pace.
Yeah, the 2 up front have pulled away now, and then there's a pack of 4 fighting for 3rd place. Gary Craig, Weber Niekamp, Sam Blease, and Michael Craig. And then we've got another gap, and then we've got Shane Powell and Carl Hardy attached at the hip again. Where have we seen that before? Every race this season. The 2 of them have found themselves going at it. Russell Cowell just a little bit behind them, but just about in that same pack. And those 3 have really been together all the way through the season so far.
Yeah, just Sam Blease, who we see at the moment running 5th, has actually posted the fastest TCR time at the moment with a 1:38.42.
Yeah, we must remember we saw Sam Blees go off a little bit earlier, so he's caught up to these guys and put himself in the middle of this pack. So you know, it's not surprising that we see him putting in the quickest lap. He's worked his way all the way back up to that fifth place. Yeah, fifth place now.
I think unfortunately for Sam though, he can't show his true pace at the moment, and he's about 7 seconds behind that lead pair. Rob Venn has had a random computer crash. Martin Brennan said, "What a waste, sorry to Charles, I thought I was clear."
Yeah, so when you have 22 cars in the field, you're going to see these things happen. You know, 22 TCRs, I think you're bound to not have 22 finish. So a few things have happened there. Some incidents on track, and then just some hardware failures. You know, like in real life, if a car breaks down, computers break down, it seems. And that's what happened to Rob Venn.
And our cameraman Sam is currently venting his spleen in our consultants Discord channel. So Ant Woodward has rage quit. The wheel fell off for some reason. No need to look.
So as soon as Sam gets
wheel
back,
on his car or steering wheel?
As soon as Sam is back, we need to look.
It's not like getting back. It's just like replay is not working. So I can try, but now it gets stuck. So I can't show anything.
So it looks like tonight anybody that makes a mistake is going to be lucky, because we can't show the replays. So we have lost Jason Haddington and Martin Versluwen from the GT4 fields. We have also lost Ant Woodward, Rob Venn and Martin Brennan from the TCR fields. So this is the battle for third place in TCR. Nobody really making any moves at the moment. Could be some fuel saving going on.
Seems like we got stuck on the broadcast again. Nothing showing on screen at this point. Okay, what we can say is Gary Craig has gotten through Weber Niekamp and in third place in the TCR. Sam Blees right behind them and Michael Gray in that same battle. Yeah, we're back on screen now. Shane Powell, Carl Hardy, Russell Cowell in that next group again, and Pete Bingham still in 10th place.
Yeah, let's forget about the replays tonight, Sam, because I think eventually it's going to break properly. Let's just concentrate on the live action. We are 24 minutes into this race. Top three in GT4 are, as you can see on your screen, Tyler Newitt, followed by Chris Needham and then Jamie Wilson. And we'll mention Stefan Goebel in fourth because he's in the same picture. In TCR, we have Spencer McCarthy leading the way, still only just under a second or hovering around the second mark with a lead over Stephen Walker, and Gary Craig in third.
Yeah, just in third place there, Gary Craig. That group was still very tightly packed together. Gary Craig, Wobbly Kneecamp, Sam Blees, and Michael Gray. Do we have a first pit?
We do.
Which is Michael Gray. That's the first blinker in the TCR field. That's quite early for a TCR. So yeah, thinking about things here and seeing what he can do differently to everybody else.
Well, yeah, again, yeah, everybody knows because I go on about this week in, week out. If you're stuck, do something different. And I think that is what Michael Gray has just done. He was sat there fourth in that little battle of 4 cars, wasn't going any further forward, so why not try something different? They certainly had a gap back to Shane Powell.
Yeah, there was quite a gap to the next car, so yeah, it will just be a case of where do the other cars come out now? Let's see, where does he come out?
Yeah, well, he's come out behind Ollie Ricks.
And importantly, he's come out in quite a gap between himself and Ollie Ricks. He does have the GT4s, bearing down on him now. As the next car's on track behind him. Hopefully they don't come into play and slow him down, because that would definitely not do him well in that pit strategy. But let's see how far they go and where they get to him.
Yeah, Mark Draper is currently stuffing his face with a cheeseburger, which is probably why we don't see him racing in this series anymore, because he can't fit into his rig.
Yeah, that's Michael Gray we see there ahead of the TCRs, ahead of the GT4s. So yeah, they're going to come up to him in a reasonably good section. Hopefully they can make the pass without him losing too much time there.
To be fair, this might actually work in his favour. Like you say, if those GT4s can get past without him losing any pace, as Roger Morton is in as well, he might get a little bit of toe off the back of them. And definitely some clean air in front of him. Sam's trying the replay again. It died a death.
We're looking at that battle for third.
I have to. Sorry, guys. It's because I'm obviously telling SDK that it's not working anymore because we need it for the end of the week. Hopefully, they will put their figures out and raise something to fix it. So I need to test things out to actually say what's happening. Sorry. Should be back live and everything working.
Oh, Sam Blees putting a move on Wobbly Kneecaps.
Yep, and he's made it stick. He's gotten through. There, Wobbly's pulled in.
Oh, yeah, like that move a lot.
So Wobbly's pulled in the second of the TCR. So now we need to watch where he comes out versus Michael Gray. He's now behind that GT4 pack being dragged along there, so hopefully let's see where he comes out.
Yeah, and Andrew Hoffman on the chat says, hey boys, how are we all? Are my eyes deceiving me? Pete in 9th. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, mate. His pit stops involved in that. He will soon be back to battling for P nowhere.
So yeah, these GT4s are coming through here now, and
Stefan Goebel is pitted.
There we see Michael Gray. Michael Gray coming out there. Weber Kneecamp just moving out in the pit lane there.
Yeah, Stefan Goebel pitted off the back of that GT4 battle. So another one doing something different. Or is he doing something different? You never know with Stefan, because he is very lead-footed. We've seen that before on races that he should have won, but didn't. But hopefully he is just trying something different. Well, that'll be Michael Gray going past Ollie Ricks.
Yep, and he's now chasing down wobbly kneecap.
He is, yeah.
What's that gap there? Less than half a second between himself and Wobbly.
I think
Wobbly's
he's gained a little bit, hasn't he, at the moment?
Yep.
Gary Craig is in, so that will be the acid test of this undercut.
Gary Craig is in. They're coming up to the hairpin now.
Don't actually know what to believe on SDK anymore, because Gary Craig has pitted and gone to the top of the leaderboard on mine.
Oh, no, Shannon, yes. Sorry, Jamie Wilson is also coming now.
Yes. Ooh, is that going to be close?
Yeah, it looks like that Gary Craig has made it work. He's definitely made it work there. Hopefully he's filled up enough there to keep it going. But these two are really going at it now.
Michael Gray
trying to get through Wobbly.
Serious pressure on.
And Carl Hardy's right up the back of him. I think Carl would still need to stop.
Jamie Wilson has pitted GT4s.
Well, Carl Hardy's put himself up there. He's stopped already, and now right in that battle with these. What would have been the front pack, the second pack? Sorry, not the front pack, the second pack.
Yeah, it was quite a quick stop. It was a quick stop from Carl.
Ooh.
A little bit of a touch there.
Swapping positions twice there, Michael Gray and Wobbly Kneecap.
Oh, Hardy will be saying, "Come on, boys, take each other out. There's two positions for me." Shane Powell and Pete Bingham pitting from TCR. So Mark Draper is now typing on from a different planet, I think. Keep an eye on Sam's lasp time as he could Jumu Gary.
Sounds about right there. Fully understand what he's talking about. And it does sound like a. What kind of burger could that be? It's definitely not a KFC burger. But it's a good burger, whichever one that he's eating there.
Well, yeah, it certainly sounds like there's more went on the fingers than in the mouth. So, let's take Mark's advice. So, Sam's last lap. Oh, just as I was looking at his laps, he's gone into the pits.
The Sam is in. Last lap was a 1:39.9.
Yeah.
Which was slightly quicker than Wobbly Kneecaps and Michael Gray previous laps. So yeah, let's see where he comes out now. He's in 8th. Gary Craig coming around the hairpin, and with the rest of them chasing now. It's Gary Weber and Michael Gray now close together again. And here we see Sam Blees starting to come off the line. It looks like he may have pooped him if he can get up to speed here.
No.
He's going to get in between.
He's going to stay there in worst. Did he take tyres? Can he get him up to temperature quick enough if he did?
Yeah, the first section of this track here, it's not an easy place to pass. So if he's just put it in the right place there when he's come out of the pit lane, just in between that pack, and he should be able to hang on to this position for at least a little while. We would need to make a really good move to get past him here.
Yeah, but we did see the pressure that Michael Gray managed to put on There we go, look.
But he's on the inside here, and it's going to be tough to make a move around the outside at the section.
It definitely takes a lap and a half to get the temperatures and pressures back in those new tyres.
Well, we know Sam Blease has got the pace to be up there and to hold on to this position. Like you say, can he get the temperatures up before they're able to make a move? It looks like he's doing well to keep this position. So I think this battle's going to go on for the next 25 minutes of this race.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, that little squabble there is giving Gary Craig a bit of breathing room. He's pulling away a little bit in third place, and hopefully these three can work together to catch up that gap. It looks like Spencer McCarthy is the only car that hasn't come in yet to pit. Everybody else has been in.
Yeah,
and as I say, that Spencer McCarthy pulls in.
Yeah, and Tyler Newitt in GT4's
full going.
Wobbly under pressure from Michael Gray now. But it's going to be music to Sam Blease's eyes.
Yeah, it's pulling up the inside again.
Audi versus Honda.
Yeah, I think Wobbly's was just on the wrong side of the track there. I think he's going to lose out here. Yeah, he's made the move stick Michael Gray.
Yeah, Wobbly had to yield eventually. Whoa! I think that was Duncan Cope in the middle of the track.
So Tyler's in now as well.
Yeah, Spencer
McCarthy pulling out.
Leaving.
Stephen Walker's getting past. Quite a long way ahead there.
Oh, yeah, what happened there?
It's quite a big gap that he's managed to pull there. Tyler. Yeah, second place only coming around the hairpin now. We should see Tyler start moving pretty soon. Yeah, there he goes. And once again, we see Chris Needham in second place. We spoke about this earlier. It's not about needing to be at alien pace. It's just about keeping it clean and keep going around you, and that's what he's doing. When you're looking at the fastest lap times in the GT4 field, and Chris Needham is currently in fourth place as far as that is concerned, but he finds himself in second ahead of Jamie Wilson and Stefan Goebel.
Yeah, one lap pace isn't everything.
Tyler.
That's Tyler on cold tyres.
And there Chris Needham has taken the lead.
That's the way to do it, Sam. What has he done? He's just pitched it in too quick, hasn't he? Yeah. Unless he got a little bit of the dirt on the inside, I'm not sure.
It looks like he just put a foot on the grass there, and that's what's just got the power down a little bit too early while it was on the grass, and it just pulled the back end around.
Who is winning?
I was just saying it. He's not the quickest guy out there, but he's leading the race now. with 20 minutes to go, and it's just a case of him just keeping focus, keeping just keeping that concentration up and not getting too excited or too nervous now that he's leading. We know that can also happen. So he's just got to, just keep going in his race, keep putting in the lap times. We see Tyler making a move on Stefan Goebel there already and making his way back up. What's that deficit now? We're looking at about 4 seconds to the lead there that Tyler's dropped off. With 20 minutes to go, I'm sure we're going to see Tyler pushing very hard now.
Yeah, worst thing for Tyler is he's going to have to go past Peter of Bingham.
Yeah, he's going to have to get past Pete Bingham and Jamie Wilson. If Chris Needham can keep Jamie behind him, Jamie can put up a fight for Tyler and keep Tyler behind him for just a little bit longer, just to give him a little bit more time, and hopefully that battle can slow them down a bit and give him a chance to just put a little bit of space between himself and the rest of them. Shane Powell, what's happened to Shane Powell? Shane Powell has dropped out.
He's had a crash somewhere. I've got him as off track, on track, off track, on track, crash, off track, on track, jump to pits. So perhaps he was doing the S's in reverse or something.
So looking at the timing screen now, Tyler's brought that gap down to under 3.5 seconds already to the lead. So he's definitely putting his foot down, trying to catch up to the front pack.
Yeah, but Tyler has got to get past Jamie Wilson before he can even think about Chris Needham. And I can tell you from experience that that is not an easy thing to do. Be it on road courses or ovals.
Yeah, we've seen Jamie Wilson. Jamie Wilson is kind of fallen off what we know his pace to be a little bit over the last few races. But the one thing that he was really good at is making that car as wide as possible. He wasn't the easiest person to overtake.
Hello.
What's happened there? Or?
Spencer McCarthy had a crash. Oh, he's clipped the tyres and lost the wheel.
Oopsie.
Holy shamoly.
So we'll have a new, does it look like we're going to get a new winner in the TCRs and the GT4s?
In both classes, yes. So Stephen Walker must have put his lucky underpants on tonight.
Oh, Gary Craig has got Stephen Walker's underpants also on tonight. With it, he's been promoted to second place all of a sudden. Sam Blees is right behind him. Michael Gray and Wiebe Niekamp is now. Their battle is giving the other two a bit of space.
Yeah, Sam Blees has been taking about half a second a lap out of Gary Craig. So it's going to be damage limitation for Spencer McCarthy. Although don't forget, these guys do get one drop round in this championship. Spencer may just have used his. Now, these two have been going at it since the pit stop.
Yeah, they've been side by side for most of this race now, and yeah, hats off to them that they're still in this race, considering the way that that they're racing each other. It's been really good racing. I'm sure they're enjoying it themselves, and this is one of those that they'll probably be talking about for a while afterwards.
Yeah, hard but fair, I think you would describe it. And it isn't going to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, they swapped positions a few times. They're doing it again now. But again, Weber's going to come out here on the inside for the next corner, which is where he wants to be. So yeah, we're going to see them swap back and forth here a few times, I think.
Yeah, if Wobbly's got any sense now, he'll be holding up a picture of his face in the window, just to scare Michael off track, because we know Wobbly has got a face for radio. Just watching that gap between Tyler and Jamie.
Yeah, Tyler's right back on the back of that pack now, so he's definitely pushing. He's not, we said earlier he was fuel saving that first, and we can see he's just, he's lapping half a second, more than half a second quicker than the other two ahead of him. So yeah, it's going to be a battle until this last 14 minutes. Can he make it through? Firstly through Jamie Wilson and then Chris Needham. Can Chris Needham hold them both off for his first win? I'm sure he'll be sweating at the moment, knowing that he's in the lead and needing to keep it on track and try and keep up the pace. Who's this that they've got in front of them? Is that on track?
Is that Carl Hardy, judging by the wheels?
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't cost Chris too much, and he gets through Carl quite easily here.
From Goebel in the pits again.
Yeah, I think something's happened because he dropped off the back of that pack for a while. Oh, and he's pulled out. I think something's happened to him.
Oh, then there was three.
Yeah.
We have 13 minutes to go. Oh, Gary's not defending that inside and pays the price. Jamie did defend the inside, then gave it up.
Oh,
and
that
he
was quite
too
easy.
Pays the price.
That looked quite easy for Tyler to get through, and now Tyler's going to chase down Chris Needham.
Yeah, no, Chris wants Jamie to put Tyler through hell for another 12 minutes. Jamie looks like he's losing his car.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Tyler's just got too much pace for Jamie at this point. We know Tyler's really the quickest, one of the quickest around, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. So I have a feeling it's not going to be too long.
Paint on Sam Bleeze's car always makes it look like it's got damage on the front.
Looks like there's a bit of a gap between Wobbly and Gary now.
They're
not next to each other. They're not next to each other for a change. So that might have sorted. They may have sorted each other out there. Tyler is less than a second behind Chris now as well.
And Bleeze playing Move the Cones. So Stefan Goebel was suffering with back pain. Something that I can sympathise with.
This is gonna do well for Chris Needham here. You know, just to give him a bit of extra didn't help much. I thought it was you know, it was just the right timing there for him to get past and have Tyler get a TCR between himself and Tyler for a little while, but that didn't last very long.
He's got plenty more TCRs in front of him though, so still could work in his favour. Could also work against him.
Staying out of the way there. Who is that? Is that
It was Wobbly, I think.
Wobbly?
Which surprises me because I thought Wobbly would have just smashed into the side of Tyler and got rid of him.
We have 10 minutes left here. That's about 8 laps. 8 laps to go.
Okay, so the cheeseburger thing is catching. Sir Alan Toon has said he's had to order a cheeseburger now.
I had a cheeseburger earlier this evening, so it looks like cheeseburger night is Wednesday night.
Yes, you never stop eating, so that doesn't surprise any of us. What is it, cheeseburger festival going on at the moment?
Well, Wednesday in South Africa, there's a burger, there's a very famous burger outlet here, not the ones that you know, one of the local ones who has something called Wacky Wednesday, where basically you get 2 for the price of 1 on a Wednesday night. So yeah, I've still got another one left in the microwave for later.
Okay. That's Spencer McCarthy on his damage limitation run.
Arnish, you're not making it easy for him.
No, and he shouldn't do. That is full position.
Yeah.
Martin Brennan said just cheese for me, so I don't know whether that's because Stacey spent all his money and he can't afford burgers, or whether he's a veggie.
Ooh, that was a bit deep there from Chris.
Yeah, this is certainly looking like a when, not an if. But come on, Chris, you've got 7 minutes to hold on.
Yeah, this is Gary Craig ahead of them now.
John Deere and Sam Blees are next up, aren't they?
We see Tyler make a move here. Not yet. Maybe into the next section, depending on where they make a pass. Gary here.
No, Chris had to be brave then. Gary's off to another postcode.
They've completely dropped Jamie Wilson now, and yeah, Chris Needham is sweating buckets at the moment. I'm sure he's even with the cold temperatures in the UK at the moment. I'm sure he is wishing it could be colder.
And Blees sensibly just getting right out of that.
Yeah, there's a lot better. That hairpin was taken a lot better there by Chris Needham compared to the previous lap where he went a little bit deep and Tyler was all over the back of him. This time he's taken it quite well and Still got a little bit of space between himself and Tyler.
Yeah, and Sir Alan's cheeseburger has obviously turned up because he can't type either now. It's a great rive by Carl. I should be cheering for Tyler here, but come on, Chris.
Yeah, Chris is putting on a good fight here. At the moment, I don't know if Tyler's just toying with him and just waiting for that moment to pounce, but he's putting on a good battle and a good fight to stay ahead. It's been a few laps now that Tyler's been all over the back of him and not been able to make it past.
Yeah, I think the worst thing for Chris now is he's got a little way to go before he catches the TCR leader. How wide can Chris make that Porsche for 4.5 minutes? Yeah, that was certainly wide enough there. Yeah, we're going to go around the outside, Tyler.
Driving a good inside line there, Chris Needham. Just defending that position, fighting hard. And that's good to see.
Ooh. Thought Chris went a bit wide there. Tyler had a wiggle. Right, there's another TCR there. Don't know who that is.
Yeah, Chris is driving, definitely parking his car.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, doing really well. Driving very defensive lines for this last. He's gonna be wanting that white flag to come soon, and he's probably got another 3 laps to go. Yeah, maybe two after this one.
No way through here until they get to the chicane, so he's got to go defensive again into the chicane.
You mean the hairpin?
That's what I meant. Same thing.
Yeah, he's definitely going defensive on the hairpin, which is working for him now, and definitely not working for Tyler. And he's just getting that onto the line again. And here we go again. It's probably going to be another 2 more around here. And if he can hold it off, it's going to be a really good win. Tyler's not making this easy at all. All over the back of him and all in his mirrors, and he's going to be looking back and forward, driving in his mirrors most of the time. But he just needs to focus on looking out in front and just driving the quickest that he can now for these last 2 laps.
Yeah. Well, they're now coming up to one overtaking place, which Chris is going to have to defend.
Yeah, which he does again. Oh, has he?
You should get away with that because that's a long sweeper, isn't it? You can't. There isn't. Ooh, there isn't really a place to get through here till we get to the hairpin.
We've got a few TCRs ahead again that you need to get through. But yeah, the hairpin again. Let's see where he puts his car again on the inside. He goes to the inside to block off that line. He's been doing that very well.
Yeah,
Tyler goes inside as well.
This is going to be the final lap.
Is it? Yeah, this is the final.
1 minute left on the clock.
So this is the last chance that Tyler has. Can Chris hold this off? He's done well in the places where they are overtaking places. Let's see what this TCR does here ahead of them. Can they get through without any trouble?
Yeah, TCR's going to park out of the way. Right, so come on, Chris. This is the one. This is the corner you need to defend.
Yep, this is the big one that's going to count. If he can just hold it off here. He's taken to the inside line already. Can he hold off Tyler? Yeah, he's got the inside line again, the inside run. Tyler's going to push him all the way.
Oh, yeah, he squeezed him, but all's fair in love and war. No way now through now, just the hairpin.
Can Chris do this here now? He's just coming into the hairpin now. Where's he going to put the score? Tyler's got the run. Tyler's got the run on the inside. Is he going to make it work? Oh, yes. So chase to the line. And it looks like Chris has got it.
To be honest, I think Tyler was very accommodating then. He could have pushed that. But congratulations to Chris Needham. Let's not take that away from him. And don't forget, I did call it before the race started.
That was an exceptional finish by Chris. That defensive driving that he had there. I said it a little bit earlier when we looked at the fastest lap times. Chris Needham was the slowest of all the GT4s when it came to the fastest lap time. But that didn't matter because he just knew where to put the car. Was always in the right place. In all the corners that counted, lap after lap after lap, and he held on in the end.
Yeah, he did leave that door open there, didn't he, into the hairpin. But like I say, when people watch this back, Tyler had every opportunity to spin him out then, and very gentlemanly didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way that we would have wanted it to end in any case, Tyler got a good run off the last going into the hairpin there, and it looked like he just had enough. But again, Chris just put his car in the right place. He left just about enough room for Tyler to not take Tyler out and made it work.
Well, if that had been wobbly in Tyler's position, Chris would have still been spinning now.
Was this Stephen Walker coming across the line? Everybody else in the TCR has already taken the checkered flag. Stephen Walker back on top with the win again. So there we go. The GT4 field looking at the finishing position. Chris Needham, brilliant race there, coming in first for RWC Racing Black. Tyler Newitt tried as hard as he could only manage second. He was leading quite comfortably until he had a bit of a spin about 20 minutes toward the end. Jamie Wilson in third place for Team Chimera. Stefan Goebel in fourth for VTS Esport. Jason Haddington in fifth. Fell out a long time ago. And Martin Versloven even further back when he fell out, finishing in sixth.
Okay, so let's have a look at your TCR finishing positions. Race was won by Stephen Lucky Walker for Spectre 6 Purple. Sam Blees came home second for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig in third for BSTV Esports Green. Wobbly Kneecaps fourth, BSTV Esports Pink. And Michael Gray in fifth for XVR Sim Racing. Sixth was Carl Hardy. Seventh was Russell Cowell. Eighth was Pete Bigham. Ninth, Roger Morton. 10th, Spencer McCarthy. 11th, Ollie Ricks. 12th, Shane Powell. 13th, Charles Kellyman. 14th was Arnaud Chenonnier. 15th was JB Dejoux. 16th was David Ayres. 17th was Matt Elmore. 18th, Andy Littler. 19th, Duncan Cope. 20th was Ant Woodward. 21st was Rob Venn. And in 22nd was Martin Brennan. So, Yaz, fantastic race there. Two brand new winners for this season. Turned out to be a hell of a race.
Yep, two brand new winners for this season. One brand new winner overall. What a defensive drive from Chris Needham. Holding off Tyler Newitt is not the easiest thing in the world, but he's managed to do it. So well done, and well done to Stephen Walker back on the top step of the podium.
Okay, well, let's kick our interviews off with our brand new GT4 winner, Chris Needham. Welcome to the booth.
Good evening.
Evening. Well, before you thank me for the win, just make sure you watch the broadcast back, because I called it before the race started.
What was in your cake?
So let's take it from the start. So I think it's fair to say things fell your way, but once you got in the lead, and we saw from the last 4 or 5 laps, nobody was taking that win away from you.
And I'm still shaking.
Although, to be fair, I do think you owe Tyler a big thank you. You left the door slightly ajar, didn't you, into the last hairpin, and he had every opportunity to just give you a nudge and send you round and take the win, but he didn't.
And if there was a nudge, I was getting a drive-through.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't really see much of that, but yeah, that was it's a good job nobody knew that, because that's quite an easy way of taking a win. But anyway, tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, it was. I knew Tyler was obviously pacing himself at the front, because he wasn't getting away basically, and I knew he had the pace to get away. So it was just a case of keeping up with everybody, and made one move on Stefan, which was probably a bit of a send-it move, but had to make it happen. And yeah, I knew Tyler was going to go long. Happy that I managed to stop Jamie from undercutting. And then yeah, I suddenly saw an orange Porsche on the grass somewhere.
Yeah, that's Tyler doing a Tyler. But yeah, interesting you say about the battle with Stefan. The first half of the race, forget the end where you did the fantastic defensive driving. There was some really good attacking driving, weren't there? Yourself, Jamie, and Stefan.
Yeah, it was a really good battle. Once I got past Stefan, I was hoping that I could pull away, have them two battle their own battle, because it's even harder work having some cars in your mirrors while you're chasing somebody down. But yeah, it was really close and really good driving.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on. But that is your first win, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is, yes. The
Made
first
up for last week.
First of many, shall we say? Any shout outs you want to give? There must be millions of people you want to thank after this win.
Oh yeah, millions and millions, everybody. I mean, you guys in the booth for putting on the league. It's probably, well, it is the best league there is on iRacing, that's for sure. Tyler for not hitting me on that last hairpin. RWC team, brilliant guys. Yeah, just thank you to everybody. Brilliant win, pleased.
Excellent. Well, like you say, congratulations. Let's hope it is the first of many. Our GT4 brand new winner tonight, Chris Needham.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's carry on with the GT4 theme, Yaz, and let's bring in Mr. Tyler Newitt for you.
Good evening, Tyler. Second
Hello.
place. Hello. How are you feeling after that battle that you've had with Chris Needham for the win? For the last 20 minutes seemed quite intense.
Yeah, you can't feel bad after a race like that. I mean, I can feel ridiculous for the mistake I made. But that's the brakes, and it made for an incredibly exciting, intense race. So I can't complain.
Yeah, we watching that. I must be honest, we thought that you were going to breeze past Chris Needham just on pace alone, but he just knew where to put the car. In the overtaking, in the usual overtaking corners, he just put the car in the right place, and there wasn't a place for you to go.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was somewhat of my own tactics against me, because I knew, there's nowhere to pass at Sonoma unless you're very daring on the brakes. And I knew that through the first stint I was driving to, I was aiming for 36s to 37s, just to make sure that we didn't have to deal with too many TCRs. It wasn't actually, I did save quite a bit of fuel, but that wasn't the primary goal. I was just trying not to, the main, or so I thought, the main risk factor was going to be the TCR traffic. It turned out it was my own attention span, but it was, I was just driving to a pace because I knew that they couldn't pass me. As long as, if they got too close, I broke a little deeper into the hairpins, there was nothing they could do. So once the shoe was on the other foot, it certainly came back to bite me. But yeah, I mean, for someone who just got his first win in the series, Chris Shore knows how to defend. I mean, he didn't put a foot wrong there those last few laps.
Yeah,
wasn't in the race.
Don't know what
Chris
plans.
Needham was.
What did I say?
Chris Shaw.
No, I think he said Chris Shaw did know, but yeah, he sure did know where to put the car.
Yes.
And that was it was phenomenal to see, and for him to defend that long against someone of what we know is the quality that you have was really a good feat, and it just came down to that mistake that you made it when you put the. Did you put the wheel on the grass or?
Yeah, I just drove on the grass and spun it.
Yeah.
There was no reason for it or excuse. I just lost focus and drove on the grass.
Yeah, well, it's still at the end of the day, it's still a good second place. We know you weren't here last week, so you put in a good race, put in some good entertainment for us once again. And I'm sure you'll be back up on the top step of the podium very soon. Before you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, all the guys in the BSTV Sports chat, Gary, Pete, JB, Rob, not Wobbly, in particular. You guys for doing the broadcasts and putting this on, and everybody who turns up. I mean, we've been saying forever, it'd be nice to get a nice fuller grid of GT4s, but it's great to have the solid numbers in TCRs, and it's still quite fun to turn up to these races. I think Daytona's probably going to be my last one, so that'll be a shame, but hopefully I can sneak a win there.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope you can do that. But well done for your second place tonight, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so let's round off the GT4 drivers with third place driver Jamie Wilson. Welcome to the booth.
Evening.
Good evening. So, bit of a race of two halves for you. Some great battles in the first half with eventual winner Chris Needham and Stefan Goebel.
And Versluwen on the first lap as well.
Yeah, that didn't last long, did it?
Yeah, he was in the race briefly.
I don't quite know what happened to him. Did we see him crash, or we was having so many troubles today after the SDK update that we couldn't actually see any replays.
I think he lost it on the left-hand part of the first corner, or the first complex. But yeah, to me it was just I went into the corner with him behind me, and then suddenly on the way out he's not there.
And you know, you continue to drag the old girl around these tracks. We see, you know, in the second stint there, I don't know whether you took tyres or not, but you seem to drop off the pace. Was it tyres? Are you thinking about changing cars?
No, I'm not a traitor like Wobbly. No,
Wobbly's a traitor to class, not just the car.
Well, and to car previously. But yeah, the pace drop off there is relative to the Porsches because they have magic tyres that don't really wear out. I mean, Tyler wasn't using his in the first half of the race. He was just giving them a bit of a sort of scrub rather than actually wearing them out. So he had a grip in abundance at the end there. But even to Chris, after the first 20 minutes or so, where it's relatively level like that, after that, the amount that you have to push in a BMW to keep up with the Porsche just increases and increases and increases. So I kind of hit the cliff at the end there. And I mean, even making moves on TCRs was tricky because around this track in particular, you're just so front limited at the end that there's an absolute mission, to be honest, to drive the car at that point.
And next week at Daytona, how do you think the BMW will fare there? Do you think that will be a bit more of a leveler?
Yeah, I don't know where we stand in terms of top speeds. The BMW on paper should be pretty good in a straight line, but in my experience, it hasn't been necessarily on a track like that where you can really stretch the legs of it. But at the same time, there isn't it's not a particularly twisty track or anything. So Sonoma was always going to just mull the tyres and be hard work. But yeah, Daytona should be a bit easier on the tyres and therefore a bit more level in that sense.
Okay, so we got plenty of TCR drivers lined up to interview as well. So before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Yep, you guys as usual. Chris, I'm delighted he got his win. No offence to Tyler, but I was just saying that it was a bit like a Bogotyrev moment in V8s years ago where he was holding on from Foggy and Johnny Brandon and all that. It was sort of equivalent. So while my tyres went off, I was sort of cheering him on, not really looking where I was going, looking at the relative screen. But yeah, really, really glad that he managed to convert that because he was driving his little socks off. And yeah, everyone else that's in these races, it's always good fun, even with a small grid in GT4. That's as exhausting to do in a good way than it is with 20 cars. So.
Yeah, we did say, at the start of the broadcast, although the GT4 field is not massive, you guys are all on a similar pace, and you always put in some fantastic racing. So, credit to all the GT4 drivers.
We just need Carl, then it will be massive.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'd get his bulk in one, to be honest.
Shout out to him as well for making me laugh when he said pass on the left and then threw it at the scenery. I almost crashed laughing. It was so funny.
Well, that's Carl all over, isn't it? Congratulations on your third place, and we'll see you next time out.
Yep, see you later, guys. Cheers.
So, Jamie Wilson there. So, Yaz, you get the TCR winner this week, Stephen Lucky Walker.
Stephen Walker, welcome back to the winner's interview.
Thank you very much.
Been a while.
Very much appreciate it.
It seems like it's been forever, but yeah, here you are, back on the top step of the podium, getting lucky again. How did that go for you?
Yeah, no, I did get lucky. Poor Spencer, I think he had all the bad luck in one race. No, he did, because towards the end of the first stint, he was much quicker than me. And he was better on the older tyres than I was. So I was like, I'm just going to undercut, see what happens. And he was 4 seconds extra in the pit. And then he obviously had the incident. If he hadn't have had the incident, I think he would have caught me with maybe 5-6 laps to go, if not sooner, because he was quicker than me as far as I was concerned. So this genuinely did get a little bit lucky.
Yeah, well, as we know, you know how to put a race together. You know how to put an hour together. We just, I think there was just some sort of anomaly over the Christmas period. But yeah, back on the top step again, getting lucky. With the 3 races that you didn't win, was there any extra practice or any extra effort put in from your side to get yourself back up to pace?
I wouldn't say loads of extra practice. I will admit, yeah, I did a bit more practice for this race, just purely because obviously I've been off work, so you have more opportunity over the Christmas period, and it's a track that I really, really love and I gel well with, and but I'd only say I had like 1 session extra, maybe 2, if that. But because I was undecided what to do with tyres.
Okay. So, well, that little bit of extra has obviously put you back on top there. And next week we go to Daytona. You feeling lucky for Daytona?
No, it's it's one of those tracks where I don't mind it, but when it comes to racing it, you have to factor in quite a lot of different things, and I don't particularly do well at the draft tracks as well. So I think it'd be a bit like the first race in Watkins Glen. I think I'll struggle again. I think I'll be aiming for the top 5 again, if I'm honest. It'll just be a case of what happens during the race and judge it by that, because obviously the draft's there's a major factor and fuel saving and things like that, and if you come out with that draft, you lose a draft. There's so many different variables. I wouldn't feel as confident saying I'll have a good performance there, whereas at Sonoma, like I say, a track that I love and I get on with and I drive it well, I was fairly confident of a good result. I wasn't expecting to win though. Spencer's still the person to beat, and again, I did get lucky. Say whatever you like, I did get lucky. But in general, my pace, I felt strong in my pace, and I was closer to him than I have been I think any other race we've ever done. So I'm happy with my performance in general. I would have been happy to finish second, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, you didn't finish second, you finished first, so well done to you, congratulations. And hopefully this is the first of many for the season to come again. Before you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Thank you, Stu.
Yeah, obviously you guys for putting the show on. The other guys, Gary, Sam, Spencer, even Wobbly turned up in a TCR this week. The rest of my team, I think Russ had a strong result. The other guys told me not to mention them, so I won't. And then just my brother is my little cheerleader. So thank you very much, guys.
Well done on your win, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, guys. Thank you.
So if anybody wants to know this week's lottery numbers, just get in touch with Stephen on Discord. Right, next up, let's bring in Sam the Drift King Blees. Welcome to the booth.
Hello. It's, I'll take it.
Yeah, that was one of those that I think if it had happened to any other driver, there probably was, I don't know, at least 10 seconds of that 15-second drift where they would have lost it and ended up in the wall. But you managed to gather it all up, lose a few places, but you were still in the race.
Is this the first one or the second one? Because I did it twice.
The one that we saw was the first long one near the start of the race.
Oh yeah. The second one, I clipped the grass on the turn-in, and it was exactly the same again. 2 laps later, so I lost 2 more places then.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sketchy. Sketchy, I think is the word.
Ultimately, you had some fantastic pace around here, but because of those 2 little drifts, you probably didn't get to show it, did you?
Yeah, I mean, it probably made my race a bit more fun, because I don't think I had anything to keep up with Spencer or Stephen. So actually, the best case scenario was drop it down to, I think I was 7th or 8th at one point, and then fight my way back through. So it was quite good fun, and yeah, I was quite happy with the result. But yeah, it was. I think even if I hadn't had those, Spencer and Stephen were going to drive off into the sunset. So
or drive off into the tyres in Spencer's case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he would have driven off into the sunset and then crashed when he got there.
So that's Sonoma out the way. It's not an easy
God.
track. Daytona next time out.
Yep.
What are we expected there? A massive draft train from these TCRs?
Yeah, probably a lot more Audis than we normally see, I imagine, depending on the... Well, will BSTV be adopting the Raw before the 24 balance of performance settings that will probably come out? Or will we just stick with what we've got?
We will literally stick with whatever iRacing throws at it. We don't fiddle with it mid-season.
Fair enough, and they may do special balance and performance next week because of the Raw. They often do, but it's going to be crazy. There will be packs of cars. You can't really make a break at Daytona. I'm looking forward to it. I love Daytona.
Turn 1 is going to be interesting.
Turn 1 is going to be interesting every lap, I think. Yeah, I think you're going to be busy. You're going to be the busiest person commentating on how many cars wide we are, and then who's side by side and who's hit that wall on the outside.
Well, I know about 300 ways to take turn 1 because I've tried all of them. I really enjoy racing there. I really enjoy watching the racing there. I'm sure you guys are going to put on a fantastic show. But apart from your 2 little drifts, any other things to note from your race tonight?
I mean, it was really good fun coming back through. So thank you to certainly, I think maybe Russell, certainly Shane, and then Gary and Wobbly, and then eventually Spencer. I don't necessarily intend to do what he did, but fighting clean and fair where applicable, and in particular Wobbly was hard work, as I'm sure you know he is.
He's hard work just to talk to, mate. Believe me.
But he was defending very hard, and then I eventually had to do a sort of a cutback, and we were side by side down through most of the S's. It was good fun. It was close, and it was good racing. So thanks to all those guys that were involved in that.
Excellent. Well, before we let you go, chap, any shout outs you want to give?
Just thanks to you guys for putting this on, and everyone else for good, clean, fun racing. It was a good fun. Cheers.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you next time out.
Indeed. Hopefully I'll be first next time.
You never know your luck. you need to get. You need to see if you can get a pair of Stephen Walker's underpants.
Yeah. I'm not sure I want to win that badly.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, worth a try.
Cheers, mate.
Catch you later. Okay, so next up for you, Yaz, is third place Gary Craig.
Gary Craig, third step on the podium. Another good performance. How did you feel about your pace this evening? The 2 at the front just too quick.
Oh, horrible! Absolutely, it's we're just chatting in the room there, and they had fantastic pace, but the Honda really struggled tonight, and it was the times fell off after 5 laps, and you could see that it was just really, really hard. I did everything I could to look after the tyres, and it still makes no difference. I was lucky to hold on to third if it wasn't for Spencer having an issue.
And so how did the race pan out? If from start to finish, you again did well in the pit stops to pip a few guys, and came up with some space between you and the guys behind you. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I don't know how, because I overshot my pits by about 1 millimeter and had to back up, and I didn't even really notice at the start. So I probably lost 2 seconds in the pit stops. Yet still managed to come out in front. But like, I'd done plenty of practice to know that the pace over the stint just fell off. Like, me and Stephen did a stint together on Monday, and he just drove away at the end of the stint. And I did an official last night with Sam, and Sam was way quicker than me at the end of the race, although I held him behind. But I was just prepared for that. I knew it was going to be tough tonight. Just fingers crossed that this is the worst one in terms of car difference, because it was always going to be a struggle.
Okay, and looking at the season 8, I mean, we've got Daytona next week, and we've seen Spencer McCarthy win 3 in a row, and now we see Stephen Walker at the top. Looking ahead of the season, do you see yourself stepping up?
It all depends on. I think it really does depend on how the car performs at certain tracks at this point. Like, I've been happy the start of the season that I've been on the pace. This is obviously a bit of an anomaly. I think I've had every chance in the first couple of races to, certainly at Watkins and certainly at Red Bull Ring, to be able to be up there and challenging for the win. So I'm just hoping that this is a one-off and that we'll be back to normal. Next week's going to be a bit different because I think it'll be an Audi track, and I'm weighing up whether I do a one-off in the Audi, because that's what I'll probably run in the Raw, which is next weekend. So I haven't decided on that yet, but yeah, fingers crossed we can get back to normal kind of parity after that.
Well, in a car you say was struggling, you still managed a 3rd place there. So well done to you.
Well, I got Stephen's luck tonight for Spencer hitting the tyres then.
And is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, you guys as ever for putting on the broadcast in the league, and just everyone else who watches and races.
Well, thanks again for entertaining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Cheers, thanks guys.
Okay, so last up, let's bring in the man who had it all in front of him and threw it all away. Spencer McCarthy, welcome to the booth.
Hello, chaps.
Right, well, what can we say?
Well, not a lot. Screwed it on myself, mainly.
You had fantastic pace. That was shaping up to be an awesome battle between you and Lucky Walker.
Yeah.
And then, one mistake, and that was it, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's that last hairpin, you just, it tricks you sometimes. You think it's going to understand more than it's going to. It's very hard to go in exactly the same mile an hour every single time. And you just, the front end hooks up slightly differently depending on where is the tyre. So it just hooked up that little bit better that time. And I just thought, I think I'm clear of the bail. I might clip the mirror or something, but then obviously it ripped the front wheel off. So it's probably a lack of practice as well, to be honest. Didn't get probably too many laps in before this round. So that's probably why I wasn't giving it a wider berth.
And also, obviously, in the TCRs, some idiots put the steering wheel on the wrong side. That wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, indeed. I can't see over that side, that far over the dash. Although I'm 6'4" in real life, I like to sit low in the car. in sim.
But like I say, apart from that little mistake, and obviously being fairly close to the end, it didn't give you much chance of a recovery drive, although you did get back to 10th. That battle with Stephen, he was back on pace, wasn't he, this week? And that was shaping up to be something spectacular.
Absolutely. He's obviously, gunning for it, and I'm glad he's, hopefully he's got that competition this season that he's going to push a bit harder. Apologies for the background. It's obviously bedtime for the animals. He's obviously got that bit between his teeth, and that's great, really. I mean, that's hopefully what league racing is all about, and we can all push each other. And it was great to see him bang on there. And obviously, I think he was saying that he does like Sonoma, so he had a good showing, pole position, fastest lap, and the win. Yeah, what more can you ask for? He did really well.
Yeah, but still 3 wins out of 4 for yourself.
Yep.
Now a third of the way through the season. Daytona road course coming up next week.
That's really fun.
is that a track you like, or?
Yeah, it's good fun. It's one of those strategy games. Always, you don't want to lead on the last lap if you're in a decent car with a bit of slipstream. So, yeah, it's one of those, push each other along, try and get gaps where you can. I'm hoping that we'll all just stick with the cars we've got. I know that there's been some chat in Discord about the Audi's going to be quicker, but I mean, hopefully let's leave that to the guys that want to use it or have been using it. Maybe Wobbly will come out in the Audi and storm it, or he'll drag us all along.
No, he won't be in the Audi, mate, because he was in the Audi this week.
Oh yeah, he keeps changing every week, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah. He'll probably be in the Jetta next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, fantastic racing from you guys. I think Daytona is going to be fascinating because I think rather than a group of 4 or 5 up the front, there's going to be a group of 14 or 15. And it might come down to a mistake or a bit of luck as to who takes away that win. But I think either way, it's going to be fantastic. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go? Apart from to Dunlop, obviously.
Oh, just to the marshals for clearing up my mess, towing me back to the pits, and getting the tar barrel back in place again. That'd be great.
Excellent. Well, I'm not going to say congratulations on the 10th place because that's not where we see Spencer McCarthy usually. But congratulations on having fantastic pace, and let's hope it continues next time out. Spencer McCarthy, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys, so that's the interviews over. I think we've spoken about the race as much as we need to. Apologies for the technical issues, but Sam has vented his spleen at the SDK guys. So hopefully that'll be sorted for next time out. So, Yaz, I am putting you on the spot first tonight. Who is your driver of the meeting?
You're not going to like me, but it's going to have to be Chris Needham.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I can't vote for him. He would have got my vote if he'd have come second, but he ruined it by coming first. So a vote for Chris Needham from Yaz. Mr. Boozin, who is your driver of the meeting?
Well, I haven't seen much of the race today, sadly. Sounds like it was interesting. So the only thing I see is Chris Needham winning his first race, so I'm going to pick him as well.
Okay, so another vote for Chris Needham. Now, I would have voted for Chris, but he won. I would have voted for Chris if he'd come second, and I even called his win before we started. But for somebody that I think has probably had the best finish they possibly could have at a track that isn't particularly easy to drive, my vote is going to go to Carl Hardy for his 6th place in TCR tonight. So that will be a free pie for me next time I go to see them. So guys, like I say, absolutely fantastic race tonight. Good to see Stephen Lucky Walker back on the top step. Good also to see that Spencer McCarthy is human after all. We all make mistakes. Top of the pile, absolutely fantastic drive, both offense and defense from Chris Needham, taking away his first win in the championship. What have we got coming up next? I have no idea because I am so unprepared. I haven't got the sheet up, but I'm now going to open it up for you. There is a possibility that there will be an MX5 league going tomorrow. At the moment, we are very, very, very short on sign-ups. Anybody watching this who is umming and ahhing, if we don't get 10 people to race by tomorrow, we will be calling the league off and giving out refunds to those that have paid. Whether or not that takes place on Friday, we are back with the Simability V8 ESC on Saturday night, media day from Watkins Glen. You saw the trailer for it at the start of the broadcast. I'm pretty sure Sam might accidentally put it on at the end of the broadcast as well. We currently have 29 drivers signed up. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's a beast of a car, and the way these guys managed to get these cars around the track is absolutely phenomenal. So one not to miss. And then next Wednesday we are back with this league, round 5 from the fantastic Daytona road course. So that's what's coming up. Obviously, make sure you drop this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and also follow us on Facebook. Never miss any of the action again. Big thank you to all the drivers that made this such a fantastic race. Thanks to everybody that joins in on the chat, and thanks to everybody that's going to watch this afterwards. So it's time for us to go. I shall say good night, let the guys say good night, and then we will close and let you have another sneak look at our V8 ESC promo video. So good night, everybody. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody. See you next time.